welcome to today's how-to episode. I am trying to do these as often as I can, and if you are liking them, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Before we get into today's video, I'm gonna ask you to take a second here and hit the subscribe button. Okay, so now that you've hopefully subscribed, let me dive right into today's topic, which you may have already guessed from the title. It is how to conceal your dark circles. Now, dark circles is an issue I have dealt with from a very, very young age. Not only did I always have dark circles, but I also have deep set eyes, and let me tell you that that is not an ideal combination. So about 6 to 8 months before I got married, I had a consultation with Dr. Jamuna Pai, and she gave me a couple of ointments, medicines to have, which really helped me. I have done a video on that, so I will add the link to that up here as well as down below in case you guys want to check that out. But apart from that, what I'm going to discuss with you today is not skincare based at all. It's very cosmetic, makeup based on how to conceal your dark circles with makeup. I feel like apart from my dark circles and deep set eyes, I'm only 26, but somehow I also get lines. So if you can relate to that, let me know. I have dry to normal skin on my face depending on the weather, but the lines are almost always there, which kind of sucks for me. But I try to cover them as much as I can. And what I'm going to tell you about today is the products I use, how I use them, what I have tried in the past, and what I find ultimately works for me. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to address is the fact that I feel people need to not use too much product. I used to be one of those people who thought that covering my dark circles would be easier by using a little extra concealer. Fact is, that is not true. Use your concealer smartly, optimize it by blending it well. It has a lot to do with what base your concealer is getting, obviously. So maybe use an eye cream or a moisturizer or a primer to sort of make sure that your concealer gets to stay there, hold on to your skin, and also will last longer if you prep it correctly. Next, I want to tell you, based on your preference and your skin type, pick between what you like. You get liquid concealers, you get cream-based concealers, and it's genuinely your call as to what you find not just great for your skin, but also what you prefer in terms of to apply and blend. I'm someone who has used cream concealers a lot in the past, but my preference will lie towards liquids because I have dry skin and I feel like it's that much easier to sort of spread, blend, make it set, and all of that. Some of my favorite concealers at the top of my head are the Maybelline Age Refined, the Bobbi Brown Instant Cover Up concealer, which is full coverage, the Urban Decay concealer, which you guys know is like at the top of my list. NYX and MAC both have really nice concealer palettes which have multiple shades on it. I will add links to all of the products I'm mentioning down below in the info box, so make sure you guys take a look at that. I will also mention any of my other favorites that I may have missed mentioning in the info box, so in case you guys want to check it out. And as you may have noticed, I'm not just mentioning high-end products, I'm also mentioning drugstore friendly products. So yeah, based on your preference and what you'd like to try and shop, you can go ahead and give that a shot. Now, I realize that a lot of people struggle from one main block. They feel like using corrector is, oh my god, so much effort. Let me tell you, it's not. Okay, so I feel like using a corrector can really change your life. But I'm just letting you know that using a corrector is one extra step that will give your makeup that full finish you've always been craving for if you haven't been using it. Most Asian women that range from like slightly tanner to darker skin tones, I feel we get a certain grayness on our under eyes, and it also happens around our mouth area. So when you're wearing foundation and sometimes you realize, oh my god, it's getting ashy, it's because you probably did not wear corrector or did not wear enough corrector. Again, don't go overboard with the quantity. Be reasonable. Be reasonable, use it well, and that's what's more important than how much you sort of throw on your face and lather it up. I think I've got the basics covered. Let me get right into the process and tell you how I covered my dark circles today. Now, like I just mentioned to you guys, I'm not necessarily using corrector a lot of late, but in today's video I did because I thought it was the only way to show you guys how you could use it too. I started out with using my NYX corrector. You get these individually in pots as well, which I have used in multiple videos earlier on in my videos. Apart from which, you get these palettes like I mentioned from NYX as well as MAC, and I'm sure a lot of other brands have them. They're really great to have because this will also help you with like different skin tones. If you're a makeup artist, this is absolutely amazing. If you are someone who tans really easily, this is really great for you. I know that this is why it is super helpful for me. Also, these cream based palettes come with a contour shade, so you can sort of multi-purpose it up. So I started out with taking a little bit of the orange corrector on my under eyes. I don't just go on on the under eyes, but I go a little bit extra on all sides. What this does is helps that blending process. You don't want to suddenly just look extra bright here, which will make the rest of your face look disoriented. So just go a little bit extra towards your cheek and towards sort of the sides of your face, which will even out the blending process in a bit. Once I was done with sort of applying the product there and leaving it, I went in with my Urban Decay Naked Concealer. Now you can use any other cream-based concealer, any other liquid concealer. It's absolutely your call. These are just the products that I went with today. And you guys know that the Urban Decay Concealer is like one of my holy grail products. So I applied it once again. I don't just go in the under eye zone. I always make sure to make sort of like a large triangle with my concealer. What this really helps with is that it just brightens out that portion on your under eyes, and while it is more concentrated on that crescent moon sort of area in your under eyes where your lines usually are, and I have deep set eyes, so sort of in that zone, when you sort of go a little over that area, it just helps with blending it out and making it look natural, which is usually the finish I like to go for. Then with the help of a brush, of course, you can go over and blend it all in. When it comes to the brush, I just want to point out and tell you, if you're using a brush and not a blender, depending on your comfort level, don't use a brush that has a really tight kabuki-ish fit on the bristles. I like to use a brush that sort of has semi-loose bristles, if you know what I mean. It should be able to sort of not have a tight grip on your lines in your under eye area, otherwise it won't blend your products really well. Over and above which, it'll look over-defined, if you know what I'm saying, and that's never the kind of finish that I am personally ever going for and that I would recommend to you guys. Once you're done with this, you could probably do the same thing around your mouth area, because that is something that I always do. I know this technically doesn't come under how to cover your dark circles, but it is something that I do, so I want to share it with you because I feel like that grey ashy finish comes on the under eyes as well as around the mouth area. So for that entire nice natural bright sort of zone makeup finish, if you get what I'm saying, I feel like that's a really important step. Now again, what I will always recommend is that you keep the brush, I have mine right over here, at hand at all times. I've already touched up my eyes twice actually while doing this video. I feel like having a brush like this even in my bag at all times when I'm doing events or when I'm at shoots really helps, because you don't need to keep adding product to make the lines go away. What you just need to do is take the brush as is. It obviously has a little leftover product on it, but just smoothen it out, and I feel like that's what's really important instead of just adding more product to your face. I don't think adding more and more product to your face is doing your under eyes anything great at all. One more important point for you to keep in mind when you're doing your under eyes and covering them up is to make sure you pay enough attention to the inner corners of the eye. A lot of people don't realize the brush does need to go all the way through, otherwise the rest of your eyes are going to look really nice and pretty and well done, and then there's going to be this random gray spot over there that is sort of going to ruin the look. So I hope you'll keep all of these points in mind when you're doing your makeup next. So yeah, I hope I've been able to help you guys with this video. If you have any questions with regards to anything I've said, just leave them in the comments below. I will respond to all of you, and if I think of anything I may have missed out on, I will add that down below in the info box as well. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe before you go away. I love you guys. See you in the next video. Mwah.